Woodstock, day 2. I'm glad to see this guy over here brought his date for the pay-per-view. A lot of sex going on with Plastic Woman over here. Hey, a local guy who has made good, a native of Frankfurt, New York. He's from the Emmy Award TV show Frasier. Say hello to Paul Cusimano. Paul Cusimano made good Frasier.
Hey! Fucking guy's on a rock, man. Oh, come on, you're making me proud of me. All right, you want to rock? All right. Get ready, give it up, man. From Detroit. Rockin'est motherfuckers in business today. The devil without a cause.
TC and Jake. Hey Jake, did you see the Texas football news? Texas high school football returns.
What happened?
Did you see the Texas high school football returned? No, this is breaking. A player in a game. The game is being played in Edinburgh, not Scotland, I assume. I did not verify that. I'm pretty sure.
Edinburgh.
Could be Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Probably Edinburgh.
And got ejected from the game. Thought about it. Came back. Body slammed the ref, who then had to be carted off the field.
I like it.
Tonight, you like it. You like it. A little permanent spinal damage. He's in favor. Don't throw the flag if you're not ready for the consequences.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that take's going to age well. I think by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to have some very solemn columns about this. I bet Dale's going to say something.
I guess solemn column.
Do you want to be on the other side from Dale?
Typically no, but I don't know. I mean...
Or maybe he will also come out in favor of body slamming in reaction to ejections.
Dude, I was thinking about this the other day. The worst play I was ever involved with. Mm-hmm. We might have talked about this. Dude, this one absolutely... I feel it in my bones. So, it was Arlington Lamar. Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm hammered.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we just want to get that out of the way.
Hammered seems excessive.
Yeah, hammered's probably excessive, but we got beers.
I mean, you drove over here and you've had
I did not drive over here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. No. All right. I retract.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Dude, I'm like 2 beers, I'm not driving.
That's good. That's good.
So they used to have a crackback law, which was basically anything going towards the play below the knee.
Okay.
And now I think it is anything going towards the play blindside at all.
Above the knee is also illegal.
But, like, I think it's anything now.
No golden tape blocks.
No golden tape blocks.
Yeah.
Dude, I absolutely hunted a kid.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did he make it? Can he walk now?
I honestly don't know. Like...
Oh, no.
Ambulance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not to make you feel bad, but...
like, you know, I mean, if you're going, like, let's say 19, 29, whatever, he's coming this way downhill. I'm over here. I'm obviously coming this way.
Uh-huh.
And he did not ever see me, and I just put my right dell into his kneecap, and I just...
What are they doing these days?
Rydell?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of those.
But I remember the sound he made.
Oh, no. Was he like screaming?
Yeah.
Or just... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I mean, in my football career, we called for the ambulance one time, and it certainly was not on account of me. So that would be something else, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I think most people play the whole time without doing an ambulance level block.
It felt bad. I'm being totally honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I need to isolate myself.
Yeah,
That's
kind of
how-
sit at the end of the bench for a while.
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, I felt really bad about what happened to him.
Yeah, no. Sam told me our friend Sam Anderson of the Quaker City Nighthawks.
Water, by the way.
He played against Justin Forsett. You remember Justin Forsett, of course.
He did, yeah.
And Forsett had a situation where he was involved in the play and Sam tore his ACL. And Forsett, like, tracked him down and wrote him a letter. Like, hey, dude, I'm really sorry. You know, what a class act.
Yeah. I don't know. Class act or poon?
What's the difference? I knew my roommate, whenever I studied abroad, played on that team. He was the middle linebacker, where Justin Forsett was the running back, and said that Forsett was one of the most exceptional people he'd ever met. Whereas he conversely said that Lance Leggett was a me first player.
Yeah. Monolith?
I'm bored now.
Yeah, dude, it's so boring. Like, I think like 100 people have said this, but like, it's obviously like Hulu adjacent, right?
I don't think so. Like, because the stuff about like this is a big advertising campaign. The first one that went up, that one in Utah had been there since 2016. Like people found that on
Nobody knew.
Yeah, like well, I mean, like you can go back and like Google Maps images and shit. Or I don't know if it's Google Maps, but they found a satellite image indicating that it showed up around 2016. You know what was going on in that area in the 2016 period, though, Jake?
Mitt Romney.
Filming of Westworld.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay,
So-
yeah, that's equally boring.
yeah, I agree. I don't think it's aliens, and I'm pretty sure that the really shittily made one that popped up in North Carolina or whatever, I'm fairly certain that's not aliens as well. And did you see the account from the guy who saw them take it down?
No.
There was a dude who was like out there like fucking around taking pictures and shit when like 4 dudes rolled up, like knocked it over and was like, we're out of here. And it wasn't totally clear to me if the people taking it expounded on why, but the guy was like, this is a remote area of nature that had been absolutely trampled, like in ways that it was never going, like it had never been before and probably never will be again. Like, you should get it the fuck out of there. You people need to stop coming. Like,
So it's not that interesting at all.
yeah, basically, I'm done with the story.
You were real fired up about it, though.
That's how I run hot and cold. That's me.
I know I said earlier that I wasn't going to do this.
Okay.
We need to talk a little Q.
you did promise before the podcast that you wouldn't talk cute. Go ahead.
So I have a family member,
Who's found out some information about Celine Dion that the world needs to know.
right? And you just don't know it.
Yeah.
I have a family member who's Q.
How close in spirit is she to the Michigan woman who testified next to Rudy Giuliani?
She's so hot, though.
Wife
dude.
too.
She's so hot, right?
Yeah.
Just waiting to be touched.
It's yeah. I mean, you want a little bit of that.
So here's my thought. It's just because I think there's a decent chance that a lot of people who are listening to this are going to have possibly a similar experience over the next month and a half. I don't know.
Yeah, or could have had one last week. We're all with family.
Right.
I've been around Q believers within the last week.
See, I haven't. I don't know if I failed or not. I never asked her about it. It was my wife's mom, and she has a sticker on her car. Q.
Could just be a Quincy Carter thing.
Yeah, it's not. It's in the American flag insignia on the car.
The red, white, and blue, is it Georgia red?
I'm asking you one more time for money. I unsubscribed from John Ossoff, by the way.
Why did you subscribe from John Ossoff?
I don't know. I think it was a Bernie thing.
Okay.
Like, I think I was just
I'm
subscribed
also
to
on the
Bernie's
Bernie
list,
mailing
and
list,
it
and I
just-
did not get any Ossoff.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm mad at myself. I don't know. But yeah.
You just kind of seem like an Ossoff supporter.
I'm an Ossoff
to the
guy.
campaign.
It was weird. I've never actually met a Q person in person. And I thought to myself, like, I should probably engage her, you know, and see what this is about, like, in person. Like, how do they talk not online? How do they actually engage? And, you know, I was kind of reading the situation and thought, you know, I love my father-in-law. Like, he's a super, super nice guy. And frankly, if we're going to do like the lame part of this, like at the front end, she's pretty cool too. You know, like, she's a normal person aside from, you know, whatever her phone or her laptop has made her believe. And she's like, again, she's the type
Phone or
of person.
laptop's a deflecting thing. On the other end of that phone and laptop is the same thing that's caused all the problems that came before phone and laptops, Jake, other people.
And I get that, but like, she's not, you know, and we've talked about this before, like when we listen to Rabbit Hole or whenever you were conspicuously confused about me presenting a documentary to you that, you know, I had seen the week before and you ignored me.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
She's not really dumb.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, she's not independent of the internet like a dumb person. But she has absolutely no digital literacy whatsoever. And she doesn't know how to filter any of this.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
she does not know how to do this.
like you and I have literally taken journalism classes.
And we grew up like on the internet.
People who were like instead like taking business classes are much richer than us.
Or no classes.
Or no classes. And, you know, just don't really give a shit about breaking down whether or not this, you know, what are the signs that this article is accurate or inaccurate.
Okay, real quick, because I know what you're going to say. But does that make you an asshole to stop and say, like, I don't think you know that I know, like, more than you?
Of course you don't. Of course you know that I don't think it does.
That's
Or,
where
like,
I
I
find
don't have a
myself,
problem
you know,
with
that
it,
I
you know?
find myself saying, or to myself, like, I want to stop and tell you, like,
Like, you took those journalism classes for a reason. It gave you knowledge that you find useful. Sharing that with other people, like, you know, obviously delicate, but, like, not categorically an asshole thing to do.
feels that way.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's hard. You could probably do it in a way that didn't, but it just, it's
I was
delicate.
not able to find that.
Yeah. Well, you guys didn't really talk about it much, did you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No. And it was just sort of in the background the whole time. But as I texted you, I think it was even like Saturday morning, like right when we got there, I've never met one in person.
Yeah.
I've never met a Q in person. So I thought this was, you know, a huge opportunity to be like, I'm actually in the cage.
Do a little research.
Like, I'm in here with the tiger.
Yeah.
Like, it's prowling around. But I did not have the courage or the gumption, I suppose, to actually do it. And that's, you know, that's one of the things about, like, you know, the way that, you know, your debate about candidate is now is there's no, like, there's no like 65% talking point. Like if I were to address that with her, like it's done. Right? Like there's no like, we'll call it a day here, Kemp.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
it's
winding
gonna
her
go-
up. You
right.
better have a couple hours set aside.
Right. Like it's this or that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna go back to, just being cool.
Yeah.
And
no,
I love my father-in-law to a degree that I did not want to put him in a spot that was uncomfortable.
I mean, anytime I find out that someone knows or that someone is into that stuff, I have no problem asking them about it and not really like, I think that people who are into that are like more predisposed than the average person.
To talk.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like if you don't like insert your views, they're probably not going to ask that much. Like if you just ask them, like, tell me what you think, that's probably all you'll get, And like, that's great.
Yeah, but at some point, like, I mean, people have been like shot over this.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's because
it's-
people who want to like yell and argue back. And it's fucking pointless.
No, I don't think it's just people that want to yell and argue back. Like, I think this is like actually a terroristic like belief.
But I don't think like bringing it up and like being like, please tell me more about what you think. I don't think people are gonna like if you leave it there, if you keep it parked in, I'm curious about the way you see the world. Like no one's gonna get mad about that. Like
Probably not. But I also like didn't want. This is so bad. I didn't want the idea that I was promoting it.
yeah,
Because I really think it's bad.
or like condoning it by listening to it and not objecting.
Right. Exactly.
I do not feel that, but like I understand how one would.
Yeah.
Just because like it's like what do you want me to do here? Like if I tell her that she's an idiot, like then she's gonna stop believing and the world's gonna be safer? I don't think so.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the easier path to like the things I'm talking about carried risk, and like why introduce risk on a fun family trip?
Dude, I'll tell you something else too. This is now a dad podcast. So
Has Nora started reading the drops?
she has not started reading the drops, but I will tell you this.
I bet they have a Baby Q book.
Oh, there's no doubt. Someone
Yeah.
sent it to us.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
again?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this.
I buy Izzy socialism books.
It is a bit weird how much they have to be contained.
The children?
By object, because my in-laws, they don't really have a living room,
Okay.
so their house is set up like, I don't even know, like I could draw it for you, but
Yeah.
it's like so kitchen, and then on the other side it's like Dale's room, Christy's room, and they both have like pocket doors, that you can close.
Like they sleep in separate rooms?
I don't know about that, but
Okay.
I know like entertainment wise, they're not hanging out.
Okay. When you say Dale's room, Christy's room, it's not bedroom, it's like
Yeah,
office.
like entertainment room.
Okay.
Exactly. And Kristen, like when we got there, she was like, where's the living room?
Had she not been there before?
Oh no, they just built it.
Okay.
In the last, I don't know, 8-9 months.
Yeah.
Kristen was like, where's the living room? And Christy was like,
We're in a post living room lifestyle.
Christy was like, yeah, we don't like having people over.
Fuck yeah, dude.
She was like, Dale got his room, I got my room. We stay in our room. So
That's what's up.
only reason we have people over if it's forced on us, and it ain't forced on us all the time. So I got my room, he got his room. That's it. I was like, God damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually want that, but I'm glad that someone has
Dude, they
it.
built their house that way. Dude,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like probably an $800,000
literally
house.
uninviting.
Like it's exactly literally built to be uninviting.
Well, we would have you in, but there's nowhere for you to sit. Great tragedy. We'll work on it. See you later.
So we'll come to your house. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you don't want to have us? We won't come in.
Yeah,
That's it. Sorry.
that's
Sorry.
wonderful.
Yeah, no. It's a good time though.
So not last weekend, the one that you're talking about, but the weekend before that, I did something that I meant to mention last podcast. But last podcast was pretty packed, and I also forgot. But yeah, I wanted to ask you, when you were at Texas State, did you ever snorkel the San Marcos?
No, I did not ever do the. Oh shoot! Are we good?
I think it's good. I think it's fine.
Hey, you good? No, I did do the glass bottom.
Okay.
Once. Yeah. I
Did
did
you
it
like
when,
rent those?
I mean, it was like $20 a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there was like just
No, I
places
didn't
in
like
there.
captain it.
Well, I didn't know if like one of your friends,
No.
like their family lived there, and
No, I did it when I was a kid, and then I did it once, just as a rentee. Mm-hmm. But no, I did not do that. Did you do that?
I did.
Oh my fucking God, that's awesome, dude!
It was amazing.
Wow,
It was so great.
that's awesome. Water's very clear.
Yeah, I could not believe it.
Look at that.
Like it was fucking Caribbean level clear. So yeah, just my buddy is like he loves it and was like insistent, like you need to come down here and try this.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I want to do that. I believe you. You know how to have a fun time. If you say it's a fun time, I'm in. And so yeah, we stopped at Academy or whatever, picked up a snorkel. He had some fins. We hopped in, went down from Sewell Park down to the rapids. You ever go down those rapids?
Come on, bro.
So good.
Come on, bro. You know me.
And then we were done with that. Got back in the car.
Be still.
Went to the Comal. I never know if it's Comal or Comal.
I just say Kamal,
Okay. Well, we went down to the Comal, and
but that could be wrong.
did the same thing. But the rapids there. Have you been to the rapids there?
I mean, I've seen them.
Okay.
I've not done what you did.
Exceptional, dude.
Ugh.
I couldn't believe it. And like
Cronkiting.
they light it up at night. Like the city pays for lights so that you can continue going down it until like midnight. Like the park technically closes at midnight, but my friend was like, I don't think anyone really comes by.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. I couldn't believe it.
Is that your first time being in that water at night?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think I've certainly been down there to raft or to tube, but I think it was just the Guadalupe.
Yeah.
And the Guadalupe, I mean, I don't remember because I was a kid, but I felt like these were exceptionally clearer waters than the other places that I've been. Man, as I'm going through all this, I'm like now just recalling that my friend was like, don't tell people about this on your podcast. They're going to flock down there too much.
What, like 2,000 people listen to this? This doesn't matter.
It's more than that, but yeah. So guys, please, just everyone hear me. Just be cool about it.
So two things.
If you see us down there, like just give up, like me and my friend. If you see anyone down there that looks like they might be my friend, just give them space.
He's the guy on acid.
Yeah, if you see anyone that looks like they're on acid, just give them space.
Two things. One, I've definitely been in there at night, and it's awesome. Two,
Yeah, we got to the shoot around sunset and had to have ridden it at least 10 times. Just like ride it, get out, ride it again, get out, ride it again. Like,
well, they charge you for entry.
nothing.
You broke in?
No, it's free. It's just a river, dude.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the slide.
Like that's what they call, or the chute Is the like it's just the Comal River.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it's a he was telling me it's a sulfur mill is like the what was originally
Correct.
there at that like drop in the
Correct.
river.
Your friend is correct.
And but yes, it's concrete, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's improved land or whatever, but it's just the river. Yeah.
So, if you go back up north, San Marcos, Aqua Arena Springs is like right by where the bottomless or the class bottom boat is. At least there used to be a Joe's Crab Shack.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
and they had a waterfall right there, and you know, it was super like boarded up and walled off or whatever. But I don't even know why the fuck I did this, but you know, I jumped in, of course.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I had at least 3 seconds where I thought, that's it.
Yeah. I
I'm
can
dying.
feel that.
I'm dying.
I mean, he advised me to wear a life vest, so like I brought one with, and that made it so that it was really not risky at all. But so I never had any moments what you're experiencing, but I definitely had like, boy, if I didn't have this life vest, like it's powerful water.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's something about, like, not to discount what you were saying, but there's something about like,
Oh, I'm sure what you had was way more intense.
well, it's just like you can, like, in a weird way, like process like thousands of hours of time in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And I had bid farewell to my mom, my dad, my brother, you probably. I was just like, I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. That's it. Like, this is what's happening. I'm dead. And then the next thing I knew, like, I was on the shore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you
And-
passed out?
I mean, blacked out.
Like, did someone come and grab you, or you made it?
Do
you just
not
don't
know
remember.
it.
Okay, but I mean,
No.
like, it's not like Joe was also there and was
He was
standing
there.
over you whenever you washed up or whatever.
He was there, but he was definitely not the one who pulled me up. Mm-hmm. But I absolutely did not get out of that on my own, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's
I
insane.
just woke up and was vomiting water. It was just
Fuck.
like, I guess I'm alive. I mean, dude, seriously, like, it was a moment of, like, I thought I was dead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People die that way.
Yeah, no,
My
I mean-
friend was telling me that someone died in the shoot this year. Like while we were going down.
In San Antonio?
Yeah, in New
Yeah,
Braunfels.
so the weird thing about it for me was like, and maybe, you know, a lot of people have experienced this. Like, the weirdest thing about it was, like, I could see the whirlpool like above me.
Oh shit! Yeah, that would.
So it was like,
Be
I know I
distressing.
need to get on the other side of that,
Uh-huh.
but that's going,
Yeah.
and I don't really see like a outer portion that I can get around, and then I was just fucking snafu'd.
Yeah, I do not. It's not like ocean waves. Like it's more than that. I'm sure there's places where the ocean has waves more powerful than the fucking Comal River.
You're sure?
I'm sure of that, but I've never been in it. That's the most force of water. Like it quite easily felt like it was more force than I could handle. Like
Yeah.
If it wanted me going a certain way, I was going to go that way, really, regardless of my intent.
Do you think about that much too, like with the kid?
What do you mean?
Well, just like
Would I throw her down it?
Well, no, like I think, you know, I used to, and I think you and I used to talk about this a lot. Like I know that I would really be that upset if like something bad happened to me. But dude, yesterday morning,
I mean, if you were dead, I don't think that you would mind. Yeah.
not yesterday morning, Tuesday morning, dude, she pushed me over and just laid on me and just laid there for like 5 minutes. And I was like, I don't want to make a sound.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to call for Kristen because I thought anything I did might like scare her off. But I was just I'm never gonna move
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It was just so goddamn cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Izzy's been refusing to nap, but the only time she'll nap is like the first time she freaked out and like was like, I'm not taking this nap. I was pretty tired. Like I think I was intending to nap at the same time anyway. So I was like, she doesn't cry when I pick her up, so I'm just gonna pick her up and I'm just gonna lay down. And she was fine with that. But it was just awesome, dude. Like just a little joint nap, the best.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had like a full-on joint nap, but
You should give it a try. It's quite good.
dude, just even those 5 minutes, I was just like, oh my fucking God, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Why are you laying on me? And it was just, I don't know. It was the coolest shit I've ever had happen to me in my life. What do you got over here?
I just want to make sure I got all my notes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I already mentioned the monolith, so
That was all your notes?
pretty much. Dude, it's been a long week.
I buy it.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of other, like, good stuff.
I do have some things. I got some stories from my life. So I had an incident that is, it was not nearly as interesting as an incident you had that was similar, but it's been a couple of years since we talked about your incident. So, it's a whole topic
It's
bringing
about
up
the
again.
pedophile.
No, it's not about a pedophile.
I haven't told the story, have
I do have
I can do that later if you want.
the pedophile story.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have a suspected pedophile on the docket, but that's
Okay.
not where we are now.
Yeah. Go off, King.
So I was coming home from grabbing dinner last night and kind of looking at my phone while I was driving. No big. Totally okay. And there was a cop on the other side of the street who had his lights on like well before I came into the picture, right? But then like I kind of go by and I'm not like paying that close attention even with the cop because I'm a good person who makes good decisions.
Always.
And he U-turns and is like right behind me.
Okay.
So I'm like, is he pissed at me? So I am pretty close to home. Like I'm to the neighborhood. So I just am like, all right, I'll turn into the neighborhood just so I can quickly answer this question of whether or not he wants to fuck with me. And so I make the left and I'm kind of like waiting for the other side to clear and he's making it with me. And I'm like in my head, just like, preparing what I'm going to say, like trying to just like get like, cause always your default is to be like, what? Arresting me? Arresting me for what?
Arresting me for what?
I thought this was a free country. So I was just trying to work to, you know what, dude, you're actually not allowed to be on your phone in that situation. So you should probably just take this one. I was just trying to get there as quick as we can. And like, the people coming the other way, because there's a cop behind me, the lights on, they stopped but I'm just still seeing like there's cars there. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to turn left in front of these cars because I hadn't really registered they stopped. I just see headlights.
Yeah.
And the cop like, makes a sound like with his thing. And then I'm like, oh shit, they are stopped. Okay. So I keep going in or whatever and, just figure I'm fucked. And then he just blows past me. But he blows past me and then has the fucking searchlight on and is like prowling once he's past me. And we like, I'm just kind of like trying to follow at a respectful distance, but there's like only one way I can go here. And like,
Right.
I would like to go home. I've got hot food next to me. And
Hot food.
as we're going down, there was two other cop cars that it like blocked off the street, and like I could see them preventing another car from going down into the area where I was.
Right.
So they had to be looking for a perp. Like they're closing down the area because we've got dangerous people afoot. And then I went by him and went on about my night. I don't know what happened, but it was just making me think of whenever the guy was like in your fucking bushes.
Yeah. So that actually happened twice.
Twice? You had someone in the bushes? Or the other time that you just didn't know where they ended up?
Only one time was the bushes, but
Yeah.
twice was dude. This whole thing is so stupid. Like, it makes it sound like I grew up in a place I did not. But I'll tell you, like, first thing out of the gate, I was so afraid of helicopters growing up.
Because it meant that fucking murderers were on the way?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't occur to me.
My stepdad was a cop, and I don't know that they like ever really like thought of this being the implication of this message, but they were like, hey, if you ever hear something in the house, don't come out.
Yeah.
Like, stay in your room.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? I'm 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to hump this pillow, but other than that, like...
At 7?
I think that's when that Batman movie came out, dude.
You telling me you ejaculated at age 7? No, you did not.
8?
No, dude. You gotta be double digits.
Double digits? No fucking chance, bro. Are you serious?
The first time you ejaculated?
You're saying it was definitely double digits for the first cummy?
Yes.
No fucking chance.
You had fucking like hair on your balls as a 7-year-old?
I don't think you have to have hair on your balls to cummy.
Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't know. It's not like I made a dedicated run at it when I was 7. So
I definitely came before I was 10.
Wow, what a claim.
I mean, people are going to support me.
That should be the name of your book.
No, so yeah, like I thought any sort of helicopter thing was like, oh.
Yeah.
I think I in my mind he was like on like an elite vice squad.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he was a cop.
He's a target.
Right, like
The kingpins want to bring him down.
No, he's just like a regular ass cop. So that was like the first chopper thing. And then the second one was, I think I thought like anything at all, anything related to helicopters was just complete danger.
I just thought like looking over Jurassic Park.
There is something to that.
I mean, I was a couple months away from being at Excel whenever this happened, so it's not like it was a formative childhood memory. But I got to go up in a chopper as a youth, look over the Puget Sound.
I actually got to do that in relation to my stepdad. My stepdad's sister worked for...
I was hoping you got to go in the police chopper.
No, he worked for... or she worked for... Drawgraph 92 presidential campaign guy.
Ross Perot.
Yeah. Like she worked for him.
Uh-huh.
And I think he might have like back in the day owned like all of that Alliance land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Might still.
Yeah. So I got to go up for like a very long time, like an hour and a half, and just like chill.
That's
in the
dope.
helicopter. It was super cool, man.
Yeah.
Flew over. It's so funny now that I'm thinking about this. Like we flew over Terry Bradshaw's house.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and like the
See
pilot.
how fucking Terry lives.
Yeah, the pilot was like, oh, this is Terry's house, and we just fucking circled him up.
What
for like very long
what an
time.
annoying thing if you're Terry Bradshaw.
He's like, Jesus Christ, like, get
God
out
damn
of
it,
here.
dude.
Can you please leave?
Trying to leave. You're literally flying a helicopter to look at my
Enough.
backyard.
I know. Can you leave?
If he'd only won 2 Super Bowls, he wouldn't be getting this kind of harassment.
Then we did it in Hawaii.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was extremely cool. That might be it. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I never really
You
thought
didn't
of
feel
it.
scared in those?
Definitely scared.
Yeah.
Definitely scared. But I don't really like remember it being like a prohibitively. I don't know. Like, the weird thing is now that I'm thinking about it, it's like it's definitely scary to me. But at the time,
Never associated helicopters with fear.
at the time, it was just like, we're just gonna do this.
Why do you push to watch the crashes so much then if you're scared of them?
Well, I mean, and you know this, and you're being a good podcast host. I think the thing about the crash is mostly just that, you know, it's just a great slow-mo burn.
It is. And
Like,
the way they crash, it's not the
just-
same.
Yeah.
There's such variety. And like so many, and like there's categories, but like each one is its own little snowflake. Yeah, helicopter crashes are astounding.
Right.
I'm with you on that.
It's not a uniform category of disaster video.
Yeah,
Like, they're all different.
everyone starts the same with a helicopter where things are going well,
Correct.
and every one of them ends differently.
Correct.
It's unwrapping a little surprise every time. But yeah, so yesterday was a park day. Went to the park, and we went to the Bachman Lake Park, and I had not gone to that one previously, but definitely going to go back because of course, like I didn't really think about this, but like the planes are right there. Like as close as you're going to be to a landing plane as you could possibly imagine.
My house is pretty close.
Yeah, no, it is. But I'm saying like that's the landing strip.
Yeah.
Like,
How'd she take that?
she liked it.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, her big thing is like if like a truck's driving by, she'll be like, "Bye, truck." So
We're definitely in buy truck mode.
yeah. So
Bye, truck.
I was
Trash
trying to
truck.
teach her the word plane. I was like, "Look, there's a plane."
I fucking miss
plane.
my kid right now.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be driving home and or someone's gonna be driving you
Yeah,
home
exactly.
in like 20 minutes, so
Right.
don't worry about it.
I don't know.
No,
That's
I hate it
when
whenever
you say
she's
that.
asleep.
When you say like trash truck, like
Yeah.
that makes me think of her, and
Yeah.
that sucks.
But yeah, so she didn't know plane, so she just said bye.
Okay.
She sees it come
Yeah.
by, she's like, bye. But yeah, so when we show up to the park,
Skinhead.
second time, unaccompanied male. This one had a normal amount of hair, no visible tattoos, considerably older than the other gentleman. But he's going over the park with a metal detector.
Oh no.
Like, just searching all the areas where kids would like drop something. But I'm like,
Kids.
do you think that the fucking Bachman Lake Park residents have like gold Rolexes that they just have drop out of their pocket? What's the upside here, pal? And really, it's such a flimsy thing that I'm like, I think the most likely explanation is that it's a fucking pedo who wants a reason to be there. Like, surely no one will bother me if I have this metal detector.
Good cover.
It's not a good cover. It's really obvious. But, like, I'm not going to be able... Like, I think that if someone was just standing there, and certainly if they were jacking it, I would have the right to tell him to leave. And I wanted to tell this guy to leave.
But gold, you don't.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
he is looking for fucking Blackbeard's treasure, so I guess I got to leave him to it.
Yeah, I don't really have a great explanation for that. Like, you're right that if he were simply whacking off, that would be worse. Yeah, like mining for treasure. What could it be?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I have a lot of questions about the metal detector in general. The upside seems low to me. As a child, I assume you were as well. Very
Obsessed.
interested.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But,
Riches.
Yeah.
Riches.
Who knows what's down
abound.
there? And it's mine if I find it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm an adult and I realize that there were no pirates active in the area, I'm pretty sure that there's no use here. Like, you're gonna have to go years before you just make up the value of what you paid to get the metal detector.
So was he there before you got there?
Yeah. I walk up and he's already gone.
So he's just waiting for a kid?
I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it's a real lucrative business to look for things that children dropped. Like, how much value? Like, if instead of the metal detector, you could just walk up to any park and like through some means like claim everything that was in the child's pockets at that time,
$7-8.
like in a week, you know, like. But just saying, like, the stuff that fell out and then got buried by the chips and I gotta go find it? We're talking about lifetime earnings, $100.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So what's going
I
on?
don't have a better answer for you.
I didn't like it. I don't know. It's a whole weird thing because whenever I have something like that where I'm like territorial about something that is not my property, like there's a loud voice in my head that's like, shut the fuck up, be a good neighbor. Like, it's not yours. You're not fucking apes out on the fucking jungle like, you know, fucking get out of my tree, you know. It's a public park, share the park. Like, even if this guy like really probably shouldn't fucking be there, like, share the park. And that's what I did. But like, I don't know, dude. That's insane.
So, I want to say it was the Friday after I got very sick. So,
The guy with the car? It was before.
it was after. It was
No.
definitely after.
Because you told me at the lake, and then you thought that you got sick at the lake, but didn't. Don't you blame that lake?
I'm not blaming you. I
Good.
swear to God, that was after. Was it before? Have we talked about it on the podcast at all?
No, the only time I've heard you talk about it was at the lake, and
Okay.
then like the Thursday after that, or I think it might have been another week after that. It was not that Wednesday, but the following
But
Wednesday.
you're positive we haven't talked about this in front of God and country.
Yes, I'm positive. Although, you know, I have a
You're not the
track
most
record on
reliable.
these
things. Just
but I
social
do feel
dilemma.
certain.
So, dude, here's how I know what day it was. I got called by the Seattle radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Friday before the
Yeah.
Cowboys Seahawks.
Right. So that was like, I don't even know what week 3 or something.
If you could get on your horse,
And put somebody in a bag.
amazing bit.
Dude, frankly, it really is like
I
a
love
great
it.
bit.
Yeah. As far as things that are not the radio station that I used to work at, like
It's a good bit.
Like, I think it's the best. I think it's the best non-ticket bit I've heard.
Yeah, and they like fully
Weak
lean
competition,
into it, and
but,
they
like,
don't
yeah.
like make it seem like it's a joke.
Yeah, don't give you any outs.
No,
yeah,
not
they're
at
just
all.
like
I was
yeah,
like dying laughing the
this
whole
is the
time.
thing we do.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, call me anytime you want. But so it was a Friday afternoon. I'm gonna say it was about 4:00, and so like where I live is like it's like
Today's sports.
Today's sports. Yeah, it's like a cul-de-sac. Pretty much like if you were to drive like towards my house.
Just so I can get a visual image. like to picture this cul-de-sac.
You're about to say something that is such an asshole move, but go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead.
How many Cowboys are in the cul-de-sac?
So one guy, he used to play for the Cowboys, lives there. He owns like 2 lots, actually. But there's like only like six residencies like past this stop sign. So like, I only say that to say like, nobody who drives like that way is doing anything other than like going home.
I always figured they're looking at me weird because they probably know every car that would go down there.
Right. Exactly. Like, so TC's right. Like, you're either turning around, you're getting looked at, or you're going home. And so a few weeks ago, I looked outside and my wife was out front with my kid, and there was a car parked in the street, like kind of like oddly in the middle of the street. It was a Porsche, actually. And I looked outside, and this conversation went on for like 30 seconds, and I was like, God fucking damn it, I got to go out there. So I walked outside, and the first thing I heard was this guy was like, "Did you play football?" And I'm like, "Oh, God damn it. Like, whatever's going on out here is weird."
Yeah.
And
I don't want biographical questions from a stranger.
I don't want any part of this. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just like, God fucking damn it.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Keep driving.
And the guy was like, "Did you play football, bro?" And he was like, "You're pretty tall. You're pretty tall." He's like, "You got dark hair. Your wife has dark hair. Your daughter has blonde hair." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, man. Can I help you?" And he was like, "Yeah, your daughter's got blonde hair, and she's pretty thin." And at that point, I was like, "Hey," to my wife and my daughter, I was like, "Get the fuck back inside." I was like, "I don't know what's going on out here, but it's weird."
Yeah.
And I like tapped Kristen on the shoulder, and I was like, "Hey, you're going to want to go inside." So Kristen takes Nora inside, and the dude is still in his car, and he was like, "I asked you a question. Did you play football?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, but can I help you?" At this point, he opens his door, and he started to get out. And first thing I noticed, no shoes. Which is like, if you're ever in a situation with anybody who like you think might be a little bit unstable, if they don't have shoes on, you need to fucking compute that.
I think that's, I think
that's
that of all the details in
the
the story, I think that's the top one.
Right.
Like if I'm trying to convey like that this felt dangerous to me, I'd be like, he wasn't wearing shoes.
Right. So he was not wearing shoes. He got out. No socks either at the time. He actually put socks on later. No fucking lie. So he had no socks on. And he goes, "No, I'm going to buy this house next to you."
Okay.
He goes, "Yeah, I'm just here to buy a house. I'm going to buy this house next to you. What are you going to do about that?" And
Probably
I
nothing.
go, "Yeah, man." That's exactly what I said. I go,
Honestly, improvement. I'll take him.
Ramp up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, man, not much. But I need to ask you, like, what are you doing here?" He goes, "How much is this house next to you?" And I said, "I don't know.
Call a real estate agent, pal.
I don't know."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, what do you know?" And I said,
Very little about the values of the homes
"I don't know,
here
man.
or anywhere else.
I don't know. What are we doing here?" And he said, "Well, what do you know?" And he started walking towards me. And I had what I could only describe as like that flicker moment of like my whole life snapping in front of my eyes of like, one of two things is about to happen here.
It's a very animal instinct thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're like, all right.
Yeah. Like either
My brain was built for
I'm
this.
going to fight. And he was like meth ripped. I would not say that he was like a big guy, but he was definitely meth
Wiry.
whipped. He was fucking wiry as fuck. And so I just thought like, okay, well, I'm either about to so there's 3 things that could happen here. 2 of them are on the first bracket. I'm either about to beat the shit out of somebody in front of my kid. I'm either about to get the shit kicked out of me in front of my kid, or I'm going to die in front of my kid.
Yeah, no good options.
So, I mean, dude, he was walking me down. Like, he was pretty close to me. And I was like, dude, hey, get back in your car. I'm not doing this right now. And
that's why I got the taser.
I took out my phone
before I came out
to take a picture of his license plate. And he was like, oh, what? You gonna fucking take a picture of my license plate? He was like, you want this shit? He was like, get the fuck out here. Get out here. And I was like, nah, man, I'm going inside, whatever. So I called the cops, and the cops came, and they were like, yeah, we know. Like, they knew the guy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And
Yeah, just Jim does that sometimes.
that's kind of how it felt, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of how it felt. This is empty. But I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, I know I'm drunk rambling, but I really had a moment where I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking send you to the other side of the earth. Like, and honestly, like, there's a 90% chance this dude would have kicked the shit out of me.
So what?
But I had that moment where I was like, dude, we're going to absolutely do this right here in front of my house. And for me, like, not doing it didn't feel as good as it probably should have. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I felt like afterward.
I mean,
like,
once you're geared up,
like exactly. Like once you're to
what am I supposed to do with this tension?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I know that sounds really lame, but I felt like I should have been prouder of myself for backing off of it. But I mean, dude, he was like literally profiling my child and my wife in front of both of them.
And didn't have shoes on.
And didn't have shoes on.
So whenever he's coming face to face with you, like how does he end up back at his car? Like how did it kind of dissipate?
My retreation, I think.
You
like
backed up towards the house?
Yeah. Like I had like a hand up and was just like, hey dude. I was like, hey, and I think I even like verbalized, like, I don't really want to do this right now. So if you could just get back in your car.
I have a radio interview.
Yeah. Dude, and seriously, I was on 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
Like, I was on with Seattle, like, probably 5 minutes later.
So when the cops are like, Jim just does that sometimes, did they elaborate? Like,
well, I was on the air.
Him? Yeah.
So I don't know.
Did
Kristen dealt with that whole thing.
Does she know why they knew him? Can we call her? Is she up?
Yeah, she said that it's interesting because she said that one of them was like, he shouldn't be over here.
We kind of keep him corralled.
Right, like in the other side of Grapevine.
Yeah.
And she said that the other cop was like, God damn, I don't even know if I should say this, but she said that the other cop was like, but what about the dance studio thing?
Oh, no.
I'm not fucking lying to you, dude. At all.
Yeah, that's concerning. I mean, that could mean a lot of things. There's plenty of adult dance studios.
Right.
But my mind certainly goes to this
fine.
kid has problems with kids.
Right.
Or this guy has problems with kids.
Right.
Yeah. Well, bright side is if your child is ever kidnapped, you've got a short list.
A good lead.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, like, and I think like probably we're at the point, like, dude, it's crazy. Like, we've been doing this for over 10 years. Like, I think, a significant portion of the people who listen to us like now have kids, and probably a good number of them did not have kids when we first started.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to sound like, tough guy by any means, but that was definitely like my first like Papa Bear moment where I was like, Like, literally, dude, I walked out and he was like, well, I mean, the chromosomes on him and on you are a little bit different. And so maybe, like, he was like definitely commenting on the kid.
Yeah.
And
like commenting on her genetics.
Like, that's the first time that's ever happened to me. Like, that shit has happened with Kristen a little bit, before, where somebody's been like, oh, what fucks up with, this chick? And I'm like, man, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't bother me. I mean, whatever, dude. Like, that's it. Like, that's part of life. Like, people are going to comment on your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. But the comment on the kid thing was like the first time that I had ever had that moment of like, dude, like,
there's a certain kind of question people can have where, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. And
why do you need to know?
And it makes me think that that's how people go to jail.
What? You or him?
No, like, I mean, me in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, that there are people who Cameron Poe their way to jail.
Yeah.
And they just end up on the wrong side of the justice system. Like, dude, you're a very passive person. You're a largely, not really like a particularly physical person.
Yeah, fight or flight.
If that
I'm
shit
fine
happened
with
to
flight.
you,
I think it's pretty prudent.
You would have probably at least had the moment where you're like, yeah, I'm fucking having a meeting right now.
No, I mean, there's a feeling like in the back of my neck, both of those times I talked about at the parks, like I am consciously placing myself between
Beer.
her and the person, like at all times. Like my senses are heightened. I'm a lot more aware of like what's going on whenever there's a fucking weirdo with a metal detector at a children's park. Bachman Lake's a big park, but like he was only in the playground area. Like if he's like going around the shore, like looking for metal that washed up,
leave it alone.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think anything about it.
Right.
Like, oh, that's cool. You know,
Right.
I love those things when I was a kid. I hope he's having a great time pursuing his dreams. But he did not leave like the wood chips of the playground.
Right.
And like at one point when we were on the swings, he was like running it under like the swings like next to us. I'm like, you just got to have a little bit more of like a social,
I don't like that at all, dude.
Yeah, because I'm always hyper aware when I'm around kids that aren't my kid, especially before I had children.
Sure.
Like, I know, like, I think it's fucked up. And, like, honestly, I would like to take a second to talk about how I feel like we have really done some damage to society by focusing on, like, stranger danger.
Go off,
like
King.
I think that it sends a message early, like that the world is a hostile place, that people are not to be trusted. And, like, we have a low trust society in America, and it's created a lot of problems for us. It's the kind of thing that leads to conservative governments, is whenever you don't have trust in institutions. And that's like, I'm not saying 100% of it's because we were told about stranger danger. And most of the people who are voting to put in these conservative governments were not told about stranger danger because they were born in fucking the 40s or whatever.
60s.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like the late 40s to the 60s is all baby boomer, right? Like all of the 50s is encompassed there, but I think it catches a little bit of the 40s.
Culturally, it does feel like monolithic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had MASH.
yeah.
That's
MASH fans. That's who we're talking about.
That's it.
But so I'm not saying like that it's caused or whatever, but I don't think that it's helpful. And like it's also not reflective of an actual danger. Like if you just let your kids go around and do whatever, most people aren't looking to do them harm. Like, how many people have you ever met in your life that you were like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to fuck up a kid. I'm not saying it's zero, but it's not like you meet one every day.
There's no doubt that it's exaggerated.
Yeah.
Like there's no doubt about that at all.
Yeah. And so, I think it's bad to exaggerate. I think there's real costs to it. Like I just remember all of my good memories from being a kid are things I did, like the autonomy I was given. I remember getting off of school in kindergarten and walking down the street by myself to my friend's house to go play Super Nintendo. And I think about whenever I think about childhood, that's the first thing that pops up, and just how excited I was, and how cool it felt to just be fucking free and out and doing my own thing. And I was 5. Have you ever seen a fucking 5-year-old walking unaccompanied through your neighborhood?
No, that's a good point.
So I think that sucks, and I wonder
Man,
how much you're going to
wild.
learn about how to be on your own whenever you're not on your own ever. I think about that with Izzy at the park, and it's a hard thing because I don't want her to think that I'm ignoring her and that I don't care about her. But I also don't want every single interaction she has with a peer to be with me standing over her,
Right.
doing whatever. So I'll sit on the
how do
bench,
you-
and just let her monitor. But even then, I'm if I'm staring at her the whole time, that's also creating a
little
thing.
creepy.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, and I do not need to worry about it whenever she's 1. I was not walking around by myself when I was 1, so it's okay right now. But I'm definitely interested in the future. I wonder, it's difficult. At some point, she's going to make a friend in the neighborhood. And if they live a couple blocks away, if I'm just at what point am I just going to be yeah, just walk through? And I think the point where I'm going to do it is earlier than most people. And so my main worry as she's going there will be that someone is going to see her and call the cops and say that I'm
there's
a
a
terrible
lone kid.
parent.
Yeah.
When everyone I knew in my neighborhood at the age of 5
Right.
had those privileges.
Yeah, and it's weird too. I don't even know, if there's a neighborhood you can move to.
I'm sure
'cause
there's one.
Well, because in my mind, I was okay, well, then why don't you just move to the suburbs? But that's kind of how I live.
Yeah.
And I just told you a story about.
Yeah, you live in a literal suburb, and you're not saying it's different. No,
Yeah.
I saw someone one of my urbanist follows retweeted something about they were alleging that one of the big reasons why that is, and I would say that in my opinion they're overstating it, but I think that they're onto something, and I'm interested in exploring it more. Is that one of the big dangers that people are worried about is just that cars are going too fast, and that if we had designed cities to have slower traffic, because that is my biggest concern, is that we live right near very busy streets.
Walnut Hill.
Yeah, where people are going 45 down it, no problem.
I suppose that's not that different for us. That, behind the...
Yeah. And if people are going 30 down it, I think I feel better about that.
Yeah.
Or 25. I think that there's cities in Europe where 25 is a regular thing. I could be wrong. I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. And, again, we're predictably turning into a dad pod.
Mm-hmm.
But I had this overwhelming fucking thing in my head of I really wish that I could just bubble wrap her.
Yeah.
I don't want her to be exposed to literally any external factors. And I know that
but because I know I can't do that, then I'm immediately the other way of let's just rip this Band-Aid off now. Let's send the 1-year-old to college.
And that's let her figure out the math. What's a mathematician's name? The
banker,
Dallas guy, Beal,
Andy Beal.
Yeah.
What does he have to do with it?
I'm just saying, let her figure out the math problem and.
Oh, he has some math problem.
Yeah.
A big challenge, a Goodwill Hunting type deal.
Right.
Okay, I half remember that.
Yeah, but dude, I guess the biggest thing about it is just you wonder when they know that you're you, as opposed to literally just any sort of input. right?
I mean, just whenever she could identify like Dada, that was pretty awesome.
See, and I don't even know that we're at that point. Like, she definitely knows the word. She says it when she sees me, but does she know that I'm any different than anybody else?
Yeah, clearly, dude. Like, you know,
I don't
bet
know.
at your house when she'll like run over and hug you whenever she gets home. Like,
Yeah, but
it's not like if Joe was standing there that she would have had confusion.
sometimes that actually
Sometimes
does
does?
happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe. Joe's a fun name to say.
It is a fun name to say.
But like, yeah, like you sort of start to wonder, like, you know, like the what am I leaving sort of thing? You know, I don't know. This sounds lame as fuck, but what are we like actually doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And what am I like I don't know. We've been doing this long enough to where I think like everyone who is still listening 10 years later is probably well aware of, you know, I don't know. And then like, you know, Megan will send me pictures of Izzy and Nora together. And I'm just like, man, this is a fucking lot.
It's wonderful.
It's a fucking lot. It's a fucking lot.
No, I think constantly about, you know, I mean, like, I'm sure this is an aspect for you too. Like, of course you think about like the sweep of your life. Like you never thought you'd end up here really. Like you always kind of intended to, but like
Right.
didn't think you would.
Right.
But then, you know, like the 2 years of trying,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that definitely.
like
adds a
I
little
have not
perspective.
moved past being sure that it would not happen.
Yeah.
Like I still wake up in the morning, like with the kid in the next room being like, we're probably never going to be parents. You just got to accept that, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So like it is like a fresh surprise every day when I'm like, no, it did happen. It's
We actually
exceptional.
made it work.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the? I think Brick tweeted about this, like the Twitter videos of the like abortion clinic as escorts.
No.
Yeah, like that's a thing.
Like, what do you mean?
Like people who show up and like fucking let them know, let them sing, like just,
Yell at the people walking in?
yell at the people who are yelling at the people walking in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Because, like, we had, you know, my wife got yelled at a lot.
That's insane.
Yeah. No, and that was really, really, I mean, we definitely talked about this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so it's been
But just
4
because,
years,
like,
but
the
yeah.
fertility services, you know.
Right.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like, bro, we're,
Do you guys not, like, shouldn't you, like, ask someone what they're there for before?
yeah, like, dude, we're trying to do the God thing.
Yeah, like, how
Like,
is
don't,
this?
Don't yell at us.
Yeah.
But that was really tough. And
Yeah, I'll bet.
I think Brick was like I think his tweet was like giving out my audition to be a escort for anybody who needs it. It's
Yeah.
like, can you imagine?
He'd be great. Yeah, that is his calling.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry for being so lame.
Nah, man.
I didn't mean to get weird.
No, it's okay. No, and I was just, I just to tie up the point that I was making before I went off about the kids should be allowed to go around and do whatever they want to do. That's why I'm like hyper aware about, like, that's why I would never go to a fucking park with a metal detector. Is I feel like I always knew that, like, if it's a stranger and like it's a kid, because I'm a male especially, that, you know, it's in the back of the parent's mind. Like that it's really kind of, if you're trying to be a polite person, that it's somewhat incumbent on you to do something to de-escalate, even if it's just like, you know, like a very innocuous kind of thing or whatever. Just to indicate my main thing is to try and let them know I'm not that interested. Because, like, I feel like people who, like, really want to have, like, especially males by themselves. It's
performanistic.
They want to have a long conversation with the kid.
Right.
Like, I think that would make the parent uncomfortable. Not every time. It depends on the person's personality. But I think it would happen often enough that, like, you're kind of an asshole if you do that. Like, it depends on the situation. But, like, you know, and it's coming from a good place, you know? Like, you want to be present for children. Like, kids are fun. I love my kid, you know, like I love my brother's kids. You know, having talks with them is just awesome. But, like, you know, we do live in a society where, like, that is something that people of our generation have been raised to think about.
Right.
And, like, I think the whole thing is, I think that entire dynamic is fucked up. I wish it wasn't that way, but it clearly is. So, like, you should be aware of it, and you definitely shouldn't be walking around with fucking metal detectors.
Well, yeah, and, you know, I mean, it's just like, how does it make anybody else there feel?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, maybe the kid loves it, you know, like, and maybe the parents are like, this is cool, someone's paying attention to my child. I mean, I do like it whenever other people, like, you know, whenever people in the store, you know, seem like, I always feel like that I can see a glint in their eye where I can tell that they know that my kid's better than their kid. You know, and I really get high off that feeling.
What a dick.
So, no, there was one of the, it's uncomfortable because she does talk a lot for her age. Like, I mean, she talks a lot, period. She does. There was someone at the park that they weren't like weeping about it, but was like whenever I told them she was a year and a half, they seemed to take that news not real well. Because they were there with their 2.5-year-old that, like, didn't say a word while we were there.
Just dunking on him.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about, like, you know, we haven't talked sports in forever, but don't you feel like that about, like, the Sarah Fuller thing? Like, yeah, okay. Everyone knows that, like, you can have a 14-year-old play in 10-year-old ball.
What do you mean?
So when people are like, okay, well, then why can't a guy play women's basketball? Why can't a guy play women's soccer? Like, well, yeah, I mean, that would be playing down. So
I think we should let them, and I think that we should just rip the shit out of them.
Just fucking go through it.
You can't make a men's team? Like, maybe soccer's not for you, bud. It doesn't look like you're very good.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
I'll see ya.
Talk again tomorrow?
Too quick.
Maybe. No, I got a topic. I didn't want to do it here, but I researched the details of the Denny Hastert thing.
Okay, let's go.
So we'll talk about it tomorrow.
That's it for tonight. The high school special is next, so until tomorrow. For everyone who's been a part of this one,
I'm TC and Jake.
We do thank you for watching. Good night.